Hi everyone, I'm Shelly from There's No Place Like Home at redheadmom8.wordpress.com. Today I'm going to be sharing with you our relaxed homeschool curriculum for my 10th and 12th graders for the 2017-2018 homeschool year. Before I even start, I'm going to tell you that what I have here today is not set in stone. Although none of my homeschool curriculum is ever set in stone, I at least have a better idea of what we're definitely going to try out. This is the start of what I think our new year is going to look like for my high schoolers. The reason that I'm not really sure just yet is because although we've already started our new homeschool year with my littles and middles this year, my high schoolers are going to be unschooling throughout the summer because they really do keep themselves busy doing stuff all the time throughout the summer. So I did agree to allow them to just start their actual schoolwork at the end of August. So the only reason that I'm actually sharing with you right now is because I've had so many requests to do things for high school. So I'm going to let you know this is what I think we're going to be doing for our homeschool year. If anything changes, I will definitely let you know. But this is the start of what I think we're going to be doing. So for Bible, I'm going to be doing, you can tell this is worn because I've read it so many times. I love this. We're actually going to be reading together Man, Myth, Messiah by Rice Brooks. He's the author of God's Not Dead, and this book is actually also known as The Evidence Behind God's Not Dead too. And this book is really about the historicity of the Gospels and Jesus, and I thought it was really something good to go over with my high schoolers because they're really at the age that they are starting to question. They're starting to have some doubts about their faith. You know, they have the world coming at them, and so I really do want to kind of just give them the facts with this book. I'm hoping that it will help. Now for language arts. Now you know from my other language arts videos that I'm very relaxed with language arts. In high school though, we do use a curriculum for grammar. And what they're going to be using is, and yes, that's paint on it, they're going to be using dailygrams. And the reason that I like dailygrams is because it gives a complete overview of grammar, but it does it in like 5 to 10 minute sessions per day. And what it is that each worksheet, we could call them worksheets. There are I think 180. It goes up to day 180. And I don't stress out over getting all 180 done. We get done when we get done. And actually in Pennsylvania, we always have loud cars around here, but in Pennsylvania, in high school, they are only required to cover, I think it's 45 days of grammar. So it's not a problem. We definitely do more than that. So I'm okay with that. So anyway, that's dailygrams. And that's what we're going to be doing for grammar. That's the only curriculum, I should say the only textbook that they're going to be using for language arts because they will still be continuing on with copywork and with notebooking. They are still big even in our high school years. Copywork, I do give them more of a choice of what they want to copy. My son, at least last year, he was still doing Shel Silverstein. He also enjoys the poems like my younger kids do, so he was using that for his copywork. My 15-year-old daughter, she started out doing Shel Silverstein, but as she started getting into Egyptian mythology, which we'll get into later, she's actually been copying a lot of that in her copybook, and that's completely fine because I just want them to have something high quality for them to copy. So that's what they've been doing. And notebooking also, like I said, is going to be a huge part of their language arts. Now for math, they're both, I shouldn't say they're both, they're close to the same level in math right now. So what they're going to be doing, my daughter is going to be starting no-nonsense algebra, and my son will be finishing it up. He started this last year and did not finish the entire thing. And so they're both going to be working in the same book, just at different areas. What I love about this algebra curriculum is that it is less than $20. And I don't know, does it say it on here? Yes. There's access to free online video lessons included. And I watch them with my son. He has ADHD and he gets really overwhelmed with his algebra sometimes. So I usually do sit and watch the video with him, and then I will sit with him while he does his algebra. The videos are awesome. They're so easy to understand and they're so easy to pay attention to. And I love that because usually when you have video lessons, it costs a lot of money. less than $20. And this book really is no nonsense. They just cut right to the chase. There is not a huge amount of problems for each chapter or for each lesson. And for my son, I do end up usually cutting those in half, just because, again, with his ADHD, he really does need to keep his lessons shorter, which is why he's taking longer to do this book, which is fine with me. I just, I would rather have him know it than get through it in 1 year and have no idea what we did. So that's why we're taking our time. So for my son, now he's the one who's going to be in 12th grade this year. I'm sure that we will finish this before the end of the year. So the rest of the year, I will actually just be doing real life math with him. Last year, I did use Abeka Consumer Math for my daughter who just graduated back in June. We didn't like it, honestly. Most of the stuff in the consumer math book was not stuff that you're really going to use in everyday life. So I just decided that for him, we're going to actually do real life math, not real life math in a textbook. So does that make sense? So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Now I should add, my daughter, the 10th grader, she's also going to be doing Apologia American Literature. And so you could, yes, this would definitely count as literature. And we're actually going to be counting this towards her history grade, because what I love about this curriculum, I'm really excited to start this, is that if you look at the beginning of each section is a huge overview of the historical period that these stories were written in. So it doesn't just cover literature, it really covers so much history as well. And another reason that I really like it is, look at this. This is a notebook. Look at it. Oh my gosh, it's so thick. And again, if she does not finish this whole thing in 1 year, I am not going to freak out. We will either stop where we're at if it turns out that maybe it wasn't for us, or if she really likes it, we'll continue it until next year. I do not try to get an entire curriculum done in a year just because the teacher's manual says to. That's just not how I roll. Okay, so that would be the start of history for her. And since we're actually talking about history with my 10th grader, she is also hugely into ancient Egypt. And she actually decided within the past several months she would like to look into being an Egyptologist. And I didn't even know if there was such a thing yet, but that's what she wants to do. So I know for a fact that she will be notebooking through these ancient Egypt books that we get at the library. We actually do get them from the college. Our library orders them from the college for her, and the librarian's reaction to my daughter getting these books was funny, because she thought my daughter was only getting it for a bibliography. She couldn't understand that my 15-year-old daughter was actually going to read these books. But yeah, she wants to read the books, so she's going to do that also for her history. And she loves Egyptian mythology too, which I said earlier, she does that for her copy work. So that will actually count as an elective for her as well. And for her, since we're on electives, she will also be doing Italian through Duolingo. She started it last year, really liked it. She's going to finish up with Duolingo. If she finishes the whole thing, I will get a Rosetta Stone if she would like to continue on with Italian. Now my son, my 12th grader, I'm going to be working through the story of the world with him. Well, I'm not going to be working through them. He's going to be reading them on his own. I'm hoping to have him get through all of the volumes, and yes, he will be notebooking through these as well. And I just really wanted him to have a good overview for his last year of homeschooling of the history of the world. So I really do like this. It's such good reading, and it's so interesting. Okay, for science is tricky because we can never really find anything that we really like for science. So what we're going to be doing this year, and I actually covered this in another video, we're going to be using Abeka Biology, only the table of contents. I am going to use the table of contents of Abeka Biology as like a spine for their biology. Yes, both of them will be doing the biology this year. And I'm going to use living books and trade books, and I'm going to come up with some activities to follow along the timeline of the table of contents here. They will not be reading the book itself. They will not be answering the questions. My oldest daughter did use it, and she thought it was really boring. She was very textbook driven though, so she insisted on just pressing through. I'm not going to do that with them because my 15-year-old is very Charlotte Mason learning driven, and my 17-year-old, he's very active. He wants hands-on activities, and he wants to be moving. So I really think that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm planning. So when I actually do come up with a plan for this, I will be publishing something on my blog about that. But remember that they will not be starting until the end of August. And since I'm busy homeschooling the other kids, I probably won't get that done until very close to the end of August. Now, to go along with the biology, my daughter is, she really loves history. My son really loves science. So my daughter will be doing more things with history, and my son will be doing more things with science. So to go along with the biology, my son is really into wildlife photography. So he will be out in the field a lot. He studies the animals. He looks up what kinds of animals they are, their habitats, what they eat. He is so into this. He's like my spider expert. If we find a spider in the house, we go to him because he's always right. Also for snakes too. So he'll be doing that, and that photography will actually count as an elective for him because he just takes the most beautiful pictures. And even his dentist a few months ago recommended a good photography school for him because he was impressed with my son also. So anyway, that's what he'll be doing for science. Also, to help with the photography, I got this great book called Photographs from the Edge that I actually wrote a review on my blog. It was a while back, but it's really nice because this is a lot of nature photography, and what I really like about it is it gives you a photo tip to go with each and every photo. So not only does it tell you about the setting and about the circumstances that these pictures were taken under, but every single one you get a different photo tip. And I thought that was great for my son to work through because, again, this covers a lot of science, it covers a lot of geography, and it covers photography tips, and that's something that I definitely can't help him with. If you've ever seen the pictures that I take on Instagram, you'll know I don't take good pictures. So anyway, oh, and also for another elective, he'll probably be doing Draw Professionally from Easy Peasy All-in-One High School. Again, it's free, and he started that last year, and he really did enjoy that. So I have a feeling that's going to be his other elective. If you have any other questions, let me know. I will come up with a video later on in the year that gives you a more concrete view of what our high school actually looks like. At this point, I'm kind of just still in the planning stages. I just decided to post this today to maybe give you some ideas and to let you know what we are hoping to use. So anyway, if you have any questions, leave a comment, and I hope you have a great day.